This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jacqueline Matter in for Scott Dennis. Thank you for joining us. Our top story this afternoon, serious questions remain after Republicans unveiled their long-awaited plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Some of those questions are how much the new plan will cost and how it will affect the 20 million Americans currently covered under Obamacare. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with the very latest on that new health care proposal.
The Republican promise to repeal and replace.
I am also calling on this Congress to repeal and replace Obamacare.
1 week after President Trump's call to Congress, House Republicans outlined their plan to overhaul Obamacare. The plan swaps subsidies for tax credits to help Americans buy insurance, ends penalties for Americans without insurance, gradually ends the expansion of Medicaid, which provides coverage for more than 10 million Americans in 31 states, and ends funding for Planned Parenthood. But the White House offering to keep funding if the organization stops offering abortion services.
This isn't a law that can be fixed. This isn't a law that can be saved. It has to be repealed and replaced. We promised the American people we would do that. We're going to keep our promise.
The plan keeps two of the most popular ACA provisions. Coverage still can't be denied based on pre-existing conditions, and young adults can stay on their parents' plans until they're 26. But Republican Jason Chaffetz on CNN making waves with his comment seeming to acknowledge the plan will shift more of the financial burden to individuals.
Americans have choices, and they've got to make a choice. And so maybe rather than getting that new iPhone that they just love and they want to go spend hundreds of dollars on that, maybe they should invest in their own health care.
President Trump tweeted calling the plan wonderful, but even some Republicans are voicing concerns. Senator Rand Paul tweeted the plan, quote, sure looks like Obamacare light. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, a follow-up on the issue of medical marijuana. It took center stage at last night's City Commission meeting in Sarasota. A group led by Captain Corinne Stanish of the Sarasota Police Department sat in front of commissioners discussing the many options when it comes to medical marijuana, which includes the location of offices and dispensaries and who should be allowed to provide it. Now, one possibility is to have it in a zone near a medical facility such as Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
We just want to make sure that we're taking a proactive approach and to put ourselves in a position best able to allow a business that the voters voted in and then make sure it doesn't affect public safety.
Sarasota City Commissioners say they're hopeful the state will have rules and regulations in place by July 19th. That's the last day of the city's moratorium on medical marijuana. Happening tonight, a controversial issue is expected to be on the hot seat at a Sarasota County School District meeting. Transgender activists are planning to hold a speak out, and they're in support of allowing transgender students to use the bathroom of the gender which they identify with. The issue was first brought up by a transgender student at the Pineview School last year. The school then changed their policy to be more accommodating, but the district has not made any district-wide policies. That school board meeting begins at 6 o'clock tonight. Lawmakers are back to work today in Tallahassee for the 2017 legislative session. For the next 60 days, state representatives and senators will be focusing on a long list of items to consider, from everything from expanding guns to a medical marijuana amendment passed by voters. They're also expected to act quickly to fix Florida's death penalty law. Closer to home, captivating video of a young Manatee County man rescued by Coast Guards after he was left stranded in a sailboat for more than 13 hours. The Coast Guard receiving that call late Sunday night. His father says his son had left from Palmetto early Sunday morning, and when he didn't hear from him later, he then called the Coast Guard. Air crews and boat crews then went out looking for him. They did eventually find him floating about 18 miles west of Clearwater Beach. The boat's engine and rudder ended up failing, leaving it disabled and adrift. Luckily, there were no injuries, but the Coast Guard does hope to use this incident as a reminder to always carry safety gear, including an emergency position indicating radio beacon. Also have a float plan just in case for incidents like this. And it's an exciting day for our ABC7 family. ABC's The View is live at Walt Disney World, and our very own Stephanie Roberts is there with them today. She joins us live from Orlando, the happiest place on earth. How is it, Stephanie?
Absolutely, it is the happiest place on earth. Hi, Dylan. We are here live at Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort. And I am with Sarah Haynes from The View. Sarah, I got to tell you, it's 47 and raining in New York. Tell me about your visit here.
The sun is beating down. I wanted just a little, and they brought on a lot. It's a lot of sun. No, it's beautiful. It's so fun. And you can't be, I love Florida in general because my parents live here, and now it's kind of home for me, so I love getting back. But Disney World, I mean, there's a reason it's called the happiest place on earth.
Absolutely. Tell me what you and the ladies have been up to this week.
Well, we had some shooting to do when we first arrived.
What, they made you work?
I was like, nobody told me we'd be working, but a lot of fun behind the scenes moment because Whoopi, this is like home to her. So she is a diehard fan. And so we've been running around, and there are points when you get all of us together, there's a certain Henri element. And Joy, who doesn't share all her best jokes on air, there's like a constant soundtrack. So it's just a fun camaraderie, and it's great because we don't get a lot of time like this. And with the staff, like you're around the clock with these people. So it's like a power bonding summer camp.
Well, it's fun to be here because it's like a girls' trip and it goes on television. So I love that. Yeah. So tell me what the best thing you've done here with the girls so far. Are you a ride rider? Do you see in shows, hugging princesses?
I love rides, but with the girls, I think the funnest, that's not a word. The most fun, that part has been really eating together and kind of exploring some of the food. Like Whoopi loves the Dole Whips, and so I had never had one, and so it was like the fun of sharing, like experts sharing the secrets with us. So we've been hopping around the park trying to get things that she's told us we need to do or try. So it's kind of been fun following the cheater roadmap.
Okay, now tell us about the sun, because I've seen shades, I've seen hats.
Oh my God.
When you're shooting a show like this out in the elements, even though it's a beautiful element, there's still things to consider. What makes it different being out here in the Florida sun?
Well, the sun is not, the best part is the audience, the live audience here, and the people that you can't see on TV that are waiting all around here. There's an energy when people choose to be somewhere with their families who they love more than anything in Disney World. It's like happy on happy on happy. That creates literally almost a tangible energy that we get to feed off of the whole time. So the sun is a minor price to pay, but we have glasses, we have hats. Joy's like, am I covered? Is it shading me? I'm like, Joy, you're covered all the way to the neck down, like you're fine. But yeah, we're new to the sun because we haven't had it in a while up north.
Well, we are glad to share ours with you. You are part of our ABC family, and we love having you part of the Florida family here.
Thank you.
Just for the week. Have a great stay. Keep the hat on.
I gotta keep it on.
And give Mickey Mouse a big hug.
I will.
And
I'm giving you a hug.
I love that. All right, Sarah Haynes from The View, live from the Walt Disney World Resort at Animal Kingdom theme park. Watch The View on, of course, ABC 7, 11 a.m. all weekend long, because I hear there's some pretty exciting things still to come this week.
Secrets.
Live from Walt Disney World, Sarah and Stephanie. Jacqueline will tack it back to you.
Oh my goodness, Stephanie, you guys look like you are having far too much fun out there. I wish I was with you.
A lot of fun, a lot of fun.
And it's hot too. I hope they're wearing sunscreen. I really do.
Yeah, you have to wear sunscreen in conditions like this because we have mostly sunny skies and just a recipe to get sunburn if you don't have your protection on. Anyway, looks like our temperatures are going to be on the warm side this afternoon with highs topping out in the low 80s. And our average for this time of the year is 75. So as you can see in Sarasota right now, it is already 80 degrees, and we're going to be just a smidget warmer than that. Now, the winds have been the story over the last couple of days. You can see right now sustained winds of 14 miles per hour in Old Mayaca, and further south we also have sustained winds in Northport of 14 miles per hour as well. These winds will be on the decrease as we go through the next several hours. Nothing on the radar to show you, so we are calling for dry conditions this afternoon. Just an all-out nice forecast for you, but we really could use some rain, and looks like we may get some in the next few days, and we'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. New at noon, an update on a Punta Gorda police officer who tased a 91-year-old man during a scuffle. The department ruling that officer, Justin Cleaver, policies when he deployed his taser The incident occurred at the Sterling House Senior Assisted Living Facility. Now, police say the man had dementia and was reportedly walking around the common area, yelling and waving his fists and saying he wanted to kill everyone. That's when officers tried to talk to him, but the man then tried to bite them. That's when Cleaver took out his taser, and a lieutenant determined Cleaver's use of the taser was inappropriate because it was used on an elderly subject and there was no emergency situation that required swift action. A disciplinary action is expected to be made within the next few weeks. National park officials in Utah have identified a man who fell to his death as a Suncoast resident. A spokesman with the Zion National Park says Tate Valino fell to his death last week while hiking in the southern Utah park. The Osprey man was 45 years old and is survived by his wife and 2 sons. He was an active author focusing on golf-themed novels. Park officials say hikers found Valino's body Friday morning, and a preliminary investigation found that his injuries were consistent with a fall from a high elevation. A popular downtown bar has closed its doors for good here in Sarasota. The World of Beer Tavern on Main Street closed over the weekend, and it comes after the company revoked a franchise agreement last month with SRQ Beer. News of World of Beer shutting down was pretty devastating to a few loyal customers.
I got my first beer here. First beer, guys. I would go here. It's good prices. The food was good, really good. The hospitality was nice. People were always treating me nice, you know. And it sucks that it's going.
Well, that Main Street location was the last World of Beer franchise in Sarasota and Manatee counties. SRQ Beer says they do plan to reopen the bar, but under a new and different concept. And as if we needed another reason to eat pancakes, IHOP now celebrating National Pancake Day, which means free pancakes. From 7 a.m. this morning to 7 o'clock tonight, you can enjoy a free short stack of 3 buttermilk pancakes. And although the pancakes are free, the company is asking you to donate towards a good cause. Voluntary donations will go to Children's Miracle Network hospitals nationwide, as well as the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and Shriners Hospitals for Children. Over the past decade, the company has raised $24 million for charities on National Pancake Day. Donations can also be accepted online, and if you are a breakfast lover, then today is for you. It is also a National Cereal Day. And speaking of all this food is making me pretty hungry, let's head over to the kitchen now where we find our guest executive pastry chef, Lindsay McDonald. She joins us today from Jack Dusty at the Ritz-Carlton in Sarasota. Hi, Lindsay. How's it going? What's on the menu this morning?
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you're hungry. Today we have the famous Jack Dusty brown bread that we're going to learn to make.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Maine. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Welcome back, everyone. So good to see you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi on this Tuesday afternoon. Right now, you walk outside, it's 80 degrees. Beautiful conditions, mostly sunny skies. Dew point is low at 55. Just last week, we had dew points in the upper 60s, so it felt a little more sticky outside. Not today. Basically, a carbon copy of what we experienced yesterday, though the winds, once again, are breezy. However, later this afternoon, those winds will be on the decrease. Pretty powerful cold front up to our northwest caused some severe weather earlier, and also tracking through the southeast here, through Mississippi and Alabama, causing some more severe weather. That is going to be coming our way, but don't worry, it's not going to bring severe weather to our area. Could maybe bring us some rain, which we really desperately need, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. But the radar right now is quiet for us, so nothing to show you here other than maybe a few passing clouds. Weather headlines for today: low 80s. Average at this time of the year, 75, so we're definitely above that. Breezy conditions will be on the decrease as we go through the next several hours. And then over the weekend, could have some sea breeze showers that develop, and then even another system that comes in here to bring us a little more widespread shower activity on Sunday and into Monday. The cold front, though, that's coming down from the northwest here, looks like it's just going to weaken by the time it gets here, and maybe an isolated shower here or there could develop, but it's not going to hold its punch like what it's doing right now just to the northwest. We do have dry air above us that's capping out the atmosphere, bringing the sunshine and the dry conditions. Here's this cold front I'm talking about. Some severe weather taking place in Mississippi now. Earlier there was a tornado watch around Arkansas, and that was about 5 in the morning. And also in the northeast are dealing with a chilly rain. But behind this system, area of high pressure is clearing everything out. Once again, as this cold front slides in here, looks like it's going to fade away, and then the system behind that will track in by Sunday and into Monday to bring us a little more wet weather. Low tide for the boaters today at 2:01 p.m. Sunset tonight at 6:34. Taking the boat out this afternoon, looking a lot better than the last couple of days. Winds die down southwest 5 to 10 knots, and that's it. Sea is still offshore 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop in the bays. 78 degrees at the beach. But remember, the UV index is high today, so put your sunscreen on. 82 for the high inland today here in Sarasota, so looking good there. And over the next several days, temperatures not bad at all. But rain more widespread comes into the area on Sunday. Jacqueline?
In your health news today, a major milestone could be coming for mothers who breastfeed. Legislation is expected to be heard on the floor in Washington today that would give breastfeeding mothers private spaces in federal buildings. Under the bipartisan bill called the Fairness for Breastfeeding Mothers Act, women would be allowed to pump breast milk in designated private and hygiene spaces other than a bathroom. Now, federally owned or leased buildings would also be required to provide this type of space. And we've all probably seen that viral video of the pregnant giraffe in the New York Zoo, right? Well, now an expecting mother in South Carolina is taking a page out of April the giraffe's book. Take a look.
Hey everybody, I'm Erin Dietrich, the pregnant giraffe lady.
Well, the world has been patiently watching the very pregnant giraffe for weeks, and now the 29-year-old mother of 3 is doing her best April the giraffe impression. The Myrtle Beach mom is about 40 weeks pregnant, and in her spare time, she put on this giraffe mask, which she ordered online while her husband recorded her. In it, you can see her pacing around the room, sitting in a rocking chair, doing squats, jumping jacks, and even doing a little bit of dancing.
Now it's like a race, like who's gonna have the baby first, me or April? I kind of like want to have it on the same day because we're like each other's support system. We're like friends. I mean, she's my middle of the night support.
Well, get this. Both April and Aaron are expecting their 4th child as well. Aaron's giraffe post has been posted on Facebook and has gotten over 14 million views in less than 24 hours. How funny is that? Well, coming up on your Suncoast News, Casey Anthony speaking out for the first time about her daughter's death, what she's telling the public about what she knows of Kaylee's final moments. But first, it's a fitness mystery. Where is Richard Simmons? Details when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AND Services.com.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View, a Circus Sarasota extravaganza with Nick Walenda co-hosting, a world record hula hooper and the ringmaster in the kitchen. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AND Services.com.
Well, it is another afternoon of spring games for baseball, starting with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They'll be playing at home in Lecom Park this afternoon against the Atlanta Braves. The Rays are up against the Yankees today in Tampa. Now both those games start at 1:05. And the Orioles are taking on the Dominican Republic team that'll play in the World Baseball Classic. In fact, Baltimore's Manny Machado will be playing against his own team as a member of the Dominican squad. And age is nothing but a number for Venus Williams. The tennis great says she plans to compete for the U.S. at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Williams won her 5th tennis Olympic medal at the 2016 Rio Games, winning silver in mixed doubles. Now, if she competes in Tokyo, it will be her 6th Olympics, and she will be 40 years old. And where exactly is Richard Simmons? It's a question everyone has been asking across the country, as the fitness guru has been missing from the public for more than 1,000 days. And now the most popular podcast in America is on a mission to find out what exactly is going on. ABC's Nick Watt has that story.
He sweated to the oldies for decades, short shorts, and that smile. An omnipresent national treasure, Simmons would often greet tour buses near his home.
You're nothing but trouble.
And at his now shuttered Slimmons studio in Beverly Hills, there was no reservation system, no priority list, $12 a class, and everyone was welcome. Now, 1,100 days since Simmons was last seen in public, the frenzy over what happened is heating up thanks to the nation's #1 iTunes podcast, Missing Richard Simmons. In the latest episode, Mauro Oliveira, a former friend and masseuse, alleges Simmons' longtime housekeeper won't let him out of the house.
Richard looked at me and said, "You gotta go." I said, "Really? Is she controlling your life now?" And he said, "Yes."
Simmons' rep denies the allegation, saying the star simply decided to step back from the spotlight and live a more private life. But Mauro is sticking to his story last year, telling me something similar.
But what do they want from him? His money?
Absolutely. What else? The house alone is worth $10 million.
Dan Taberski, who hosts Missing Richard Simmons, says the purpose of the podcast is to just make sure the Deal Meal founder is okay.
The podcast is just a process of us just trying to figure out why he would do this.
Simmons made millions over the course of 40 years, saved lives in the process.
I don't have to work anymore. This is my passion, and this is my mission. You can't fake this.
This isn't a witch hunt. Like, I just wish him well. But I haven't talked to anybody who thinks Richard Simmons is fine.
Simmons' PR agent of 27 years told us, "We didn't cooperate nor collaborate with this podcast. These unfounded attempts to diminish the legacy of this true American treasure are simply shameful."
Well, it is 12:26, almost lunchtime, so let's check back in with the kitchen where Josh joins our guest for the day, executive pastry chef Lindsay McDonald from Jack Dusty at the Ritz-Carlton in Sarasota. Hey guys, how's it going over there?
Wonderful. I mean, I've got the best job right now because, Lindsay, you're going to show us how to make this amazing bread from Jack Dusty. Folks, that's like the best bread, I think, in town, if not the world.
Well, absolutely, but I'm totally biased, so I can't say that. But yes, it's amazing, and we go through a ton of it a day, and you know, the whole story. Have you heard the story? Because when people come in, they're supposed to hear the story of the Jack Dusty brown bread.
Enlighten me and enlighten everybody else.
So 16th century British royal ships were, all the sailors on the board, they were jack of all trades, right? Because they had to be able to do everything, so they were deemed Jack. And then the one who made the bread was Jack Dusty. So he was covered in flour from the dust. And he wasn't really cool because of the bread part. Like, I like to say he was, but he wasn't. It was because he also controlled the grog, or the daily shift drink, on board. So if you control the food and the shift drink, you are like amazing.
The man, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's named Jack Dusty.
Interesting.
And that's a cool story. This particular bread has lots of different flavors from the Caribbean. We've got 1/4 cup of molasses. This one, we start a little backwards because you always think you put the flour in the bowl first. We're not going to do that today. You put all the liquid ingredients. So we have molasses. We have a whole cup of honey.
Wow.
And the whole recipe's online. I know I'm going to go through this fast. We have 5 whole eggs that are going to go in here. I'm a mom, so I love anything that you can like dump into a bowl all at once and make happen and get interrupted 5 times, and it still comes out amazing every time. So I'm going to put, and this was 2½ cups of buttermilk, and get yourself some good buttermilk. Don't get, you know, something that's really liquidy or watery.
Now, what defines good buttermilk?
Full fat.
Okay, full fat.
Full fat. Don't go to the
Why
reduced
not go all the
fat.
way?
If you can get out to one of the farms out east to get something fresh, I mean, do it.
Oh wow.
Absolutely. Or
it
even
really
if,
makes that much of a difference.
I think it does. I mean, the fat content, it always does. So it's an amazing thing if you get good buttermilk or even fresh. So now we're going to put all the dry ingredients on top of this. This is 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour.
Wow.
This is 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 2 cups all-purpose flour. See, this is the really technical baking aspect here, where you just dump it into a bowl.
This is wonderful. This is great.
That was 1 cup of polenta. It's actually like a rough ground corn. It's what gives it that great Jack Dusty brown bread texture.
Wow.
And 2 whole cups of rye flour. So we have rye, whole wheat, polenta, eggs, buttermilk. We have all the good stuff. We tried to use some hints of things that were carried in the Caribbean at the time, so that it's really a nice blend of bread. But what did we forget? What's not in this yet?
Well, I've got this here, this baking spray.
Rum.
The rum.
We haven't put rum in it yet.
Where's the rum?
But see, when you bake rum, all the liquor cooks out. So we actually serve the brown bread with a nice rum butter that's got a little bit of salt and lots of reduced rum in it. So it's this amazing, amazing flavor. So we've got our brown bread mix. See how nice that came together?
Yeah,
I didn't
it was
even have
liquidy,
to try.
and now it's very thick.
We have that. So we have got to spray our cans. This is a standard bean can of any kind from the grocery store. You give it a really good spray. You can't be shy. You want to try it?
I will try it.
I mean,
yes.
like a lot. Yeah, there you
That
go.
Good? Okay.
And I'm a big on portion, so I've got my fancy ice cream scoop here. I'm going to give it 2 scoops. In the can, you put this right into the oven. Takes about 25, 28 minutes, depending on how well your oven bakes. And you've got your Jack Dusty brown bread. It's that easy. When I pull it out of the oven.
And this is the final product here, huh?
This is the final product. You have, it bakes up beautifully in the can. You just take a little knife. See if it's gonna let it come out. Nope, it's not today. You gotta get it really good and down in there. You take your knife out of the can, you serve it with your rum butter. There, it wants to come now. I just wanted to make me look bad for a while.
Well, we'll spare everyone from eating this on our commercial break, but thank you so much, Lindsay. This looks wonderful.
So much.
Looks like a fairly easy recipe, and you can find this recipe and more if you go to the dining section on our website at mysuncoast.com. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Give me one of those, please.
Every person is different, and every real estate deal is unique. That's why experience matters. I enjoy guiding my customers through the process of buying or selling a home, because there's so much that can happen. I want them to enjoy the real estate experience as much as I do. I'm Eric Schrock with SWC Properties. I love being in real estate.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular received a J.D. Power Award for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-297-5313, go to consumercellular.com, or visit a Target or Sears store today.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman or the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Casey Anthony now speaking out for the first time ever in exclusive interviews. After speaking with the Associated Press, she is well aware that much of the world believes she killed her 2-year-old daughter despite her acquittal, but the frowned-upon mother says she still doesn't know what happened in those last few hours of her daughter's life. She says the last time she saw her daughter, Kaylee, she believed that she was alive and that she was going to be okay. Anthony did not wish to be filmed, so her comments are audio only.
To your understanding, how did she die?
I don't know.
You don't know? Something about drowning, possibly.
Everyone else has their theories. I don't know.
Anthony was convicted of lying to police, which she admitted, and served 3 years awaiting trial. She did tell the reporter her walls are decorated with photos of Kaylee and that she would have been 12 today and would have probably been listening to classic rock and playing sports. Anthony also says she does sleep pretty well at night. Some shocking video coming out of Pennsylvania. It shows a daycare worker pushing a 4-year-old girl down a flight of stairs. Take a look. Police say the woman in the video was fired soon after the owners of the daycare saw what happened. And get this, when she sees that there was a camera, she quickly goes to help the child down the stairs. The girl suffered a knee injury but was back at the daycare this week. The worker is facing assault and child endangerment charges. She was released from jail on a $25,000 bond. Overseas rescue efforts are over at a French ski resort where an avalanche struck. It happened this morning at the Teen Resort in the French Alps. There were no injuries, luckily, or casualties, but several skiers did get caught up in the cascade of snow. Now, this is the second avalanche this year to hit the resort. Just last month, 4 people died after being hit by an avalanche. Weather services there say there's been a high avalanche risk in mountain ranges because of strong winds. And we do have some breaking news coming into the ABC7 newsroom right now. Crews are responding to a large structure fire located at Coconut in the 1100 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Way. There is talk of closing roads in that area. We're also being told it could be located at Ringling School. We do have a crew on the way. We'll continue to bring you more information as it becomes available. Again, a large structure fire is reported in the area of Coconut and MLK Jr. Way. You are asked to avoid that area at all possible costs. It is just into our newsroom at the moment. Certainly something we have definitely been talking about, brush fires, for the past couple days. New this afternoon, for the second time in a week, a tornado outbreak has struck the Midwest. At least 29 twisters were reported. They've destroyed homes, caused massive power outages, and leaving people to clean up today. ABC's Kenneth Moten has a look at that damage.
In less than a week, the heartland hit again.
Some of those are big.
Nearly 30 tornadoes reported from Kansas to Illinois. Watch as 70-mile-per-hour winds rip the roof off this building.
Get away from the windows, middle of your house.
That moment, a twister was spotted east of Kansas City. The reaction from a meteorologist from the ABC affiliate captured live on the air.
Brian, tornado on the ground.
Oak Grove, Missouri, just outside of KC, took the brunt of the severe weather. Hundreds of homes suffered some type of damage.
Seen a transformer blow, and that's when we seen the rotation of the tornado.
Nearby in other communities, this airport leveled, houses destroyed.
Unbelievable, I would say. This is really terrifying. This is very scary. The whole side of the house is gone. Unbelievable.
Vehicles pelted by baseball-sized hail. The conditions so bad, drivers were forced to pull over. Before the storms rolled in, those strong winds were a problem, knocking over semis from Wyoming to Kansas. In Minnesota, trees were toppled, taking down power lines. Unlike last week's tornado outbreak, it appears no lives were lost.
Thanks be to God that there was no fatalities, and the cleanup process is beginning.
And while the cleanup begins, crews are working to restore power. At one point this morning, more than 100,000 people were in the dark. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Wow, so certainly some crazy footage of that tornado there, but dry conditions here. Obviously, we see that brush fire off of Coconut and MLK.
With the dry conditions, it's a recipe for disaster if we are not careful, because we can get fires that get out of control, especially with gusty winds, which what we're experiencing today. Looks like, fortunately, these winds are going to die down, but boy, a southeasterly wind sustained right now at 18 miles per hour. And that's not a good situation for that breaking news that we just showed you for the brush fire. But right now, our temperature is nice for the beachgoers, 80 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And the humidity is low, so it's not that humid at all. We're talking about 42% right now. So it's feeling pretty comfortable, except, again, the breezy conditions are making it difficult, especially when we have brush fires. Now, our radar is quiet. We really could use some help from Mother Nature, and looks like we will get some rain coming into our area in the next few days. Of course, we'll talk about that in the 7-day forecast, but as far as the rest of the afternoon goes, highs topping out in the low 80s, Our average for a high this time of the year is 75, so it'll be above that. And then the winds finally will be on the decrease, and the winds will be light by tonight. Jacqueline?
All right, well, the uproar continues this afternoon in the aftermath of comments that Dr. Ben Carson made during his first address as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. The former Republican presidential candidate appeared to have compared slavery in America to immigrants who chose to come to the United States. Carson suggesting that slaves worked even harder and for less. But that backlash he's receiving over his comments has prompted the doctor to explain himself on radio and social media.
Whether you're legal or you're illegal, you come from the outside to inside, you're an immigrant. Slaves came here as involuntary immigrants, but they still had the strength to hold on.
Immigrants suggest a kind of willfulness, an agency exercise toward a particular goal. They were not engaged in the act of coming here with their own, if you will, volition. It was against their will. And I think Dr. Carson has distorted the entire process.
A statement was posted on Carson's page saying in part, quote, immigrants made the choice to come to America. They saw this country as a land of opportunity. In contrast, slaves were forced here against their will and lost all their opportunities. The two experiences should never be intertwined nor forgotten. Carson was confirmed as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development just last week. Starting today, you can book your tour of the White House as President Trump was out this morning greeting the first batch of guests. First Lady Melania Trump recently announced the reopening of the White House Visitor's Office. The White House has been closed for tours since Inauguration Day, and also new, if you do book a tour, you can now also take pictures. Back in 2015, the Obamas lifted a long-standing ban on taking photos on that tour. And for many people, having a favorite spot in a city is what makes them feel like home. ABC's Linda Carson tells us about just a special place here in Soda. We'll have that place coming up next.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
It's the granddaddy of them all, the 89th Annual Arcadia All-Florida Championship Rodeo. March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, the Arcadia Rodeo Association is proud to present this PRCA-sanctioned event featuring some of the world's best bull, bronc, and bareback riding, roping, barrel racing, and steer wrestling. For the little wranglers, there's a calf scramble and mutton busting. Gates open at 11 each day. For tickets, visit ArcadiaRodeo.com or call 800-749-7633. It's rodeo at its finest. Don't miss the 89th All-Florida Championship Rodeo, March 9th through 12th.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. So good to see you on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today. Temperatures pick wherever you want to go along the Sun Coast. It is wonderful. 80 in Sarasota. Again, the average is 75, so we're 5 degrees above our average high. 81 in Venice, 80 here in Northport, 80 in Inglewood, and a little bit cooler, but not much, and very comfortable conditions out here in Arcadia. 79 degrees in Lake Placid and Sebring and Avon Park at 78 degrees. The story today, though, has been the winds coming out of the east and now the southeast, as we forecasted, and they're blowing pretty strong. As we showed you earlier, the sustained wind in Sarasota is at 18 miles per hour, and that's not even a wind gust, that's sustained wind. So it is quite breezy out there. And as we also showed you the breaking news of a structure fire, and that's not good news for the firefighters with the gusty winds. And with everything being so dry, winds make it very hard to put out these fires, unfortunately. Pretty strong cold front up to the northwest. This has been responsible for severe weather and unfortunate problems for the folks with damage dealing with the storms up here. This front will be coming our way, but I don't think it's going to be a severe situation for us. It's going to lose its punch, be very weak by the time it gets to us, but it could still help aid to some showers around the area, but those will be isolated, and that should come our way on Thursday. As far as our radar goes right now, Titan radar is very quiet. We don't have anything to show you here, so we are calling for mostly sunny skies thanks to dry air loft, which shows up in tan, pretty much draping the entire peninsula at this time. Let's talk about this powerful cold front. Jacqueline and I were talking earlier that she has a friend in Arkansas that was woken up in the middle of the night to severe weather, and I happened to be on the storm chase team when I went to Mississippi State, and the thing is, these storms fire up here, like in West Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. By the time they reach an area called Dixie Alley, which is Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, these storms arrive at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about tornadoes, severe weather, and with the tree line so high you can't see around the trees, it's dark, and it can be very dangerous. So unfortunately, some people dealing with that, and looks like the severe weather is ongoing right now. Some wet weather, a chilly rain up here into the northeast, but behind the system, high pressure in control, so clear skies. As I said, that cold front coming our way will lose its punch, not cause severe weather for us, but maybe a few showers on Thursday. Another system behind that eventually will make its way in by the weekend to bring us a little more widespread wet weather. Beach and boating forecast, southwest winds will slowly die down. We're talking about 5 to 10 knots, 82 degrees for our high today. And the rest of the forecast looks pretty nice as far as temperatures. Best chance of widespread rain comes later in the weekend into early next week. Jacqueline?
All right, thanks so much, Josh. Well, for many people, having a favorite spot in a city is what makes that city feel like home. ABC 7's Linda Carson tells us about just such a spot right here in Sarasota in a place we call home.
Two separate entities sit so close to each other on Kumquat Court, they appear and sometimes operate as one. The purpose of each is to serve the community, but in very different ways. WSLR-FM is a community radio station.
Community radio stations are run usually by volunteers. It's a low-power FM, meaning that we have a very small signal. We have 100 watts. It was licensed, this category came into being in the Clinton administration, and now there are over 3,000 low-power FM stations in the country.
Its purpose is to build community.
We do that by having a large volunteers, programmers, and volunteer people that help us bring people together.
Their programming is 60% music, 40% public affairs. For example,
John Hopt is going on the air right now as we speak, and he does more of an indie folk, indie Americana show.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. is ABC 7's own Russ Yodis.
It's The Ripper, and he does a great rock and roll show, delving back into cuts that you couldn't find elsewhere on the radio.
A part of their mission is to program things you can't find elsewhere. They also have news and information and national programming. Walk out their side door and you are in Fogartyville. The old truck repair shop has been transformed. There's a stage, a bar, and lots of table seating inside and out.
Well, the purpose of Fogartyville, it's like I said, it's part of the Peace Education and Action Center, and our mission is to connect and empower people to build a more just and peaceful world.
And one way to do that is through music from different cultures.
We see music as one of those boundary crossing type of areas where it really doesn't matter, what your politics are, or, you can all come together and enjoy good music.
Along with the concerts, they host workshops, films, and speakers.
We have Activist Tuesdays every Tuesday night, which is educational and organizing work that's going on in the community. People get together and share. We have a drum class going on right now every Wednesday night, and a West African dance class every Thursday night.
And for many people, Fogartyville and WSLR are what makes Sarasota feel like home. Fogartyville and WSLR Radio, two things that make Sarasota a great place to call home. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Certainly a great story for music lovers. Stick around, we'll have your entertainment news right after the break.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman or the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Main. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like all the money I save with Ace Rewards.
And what's not to like? On any day, Byron can find instant savings throughout the store. Plus, exclusive deals and points that'll all add up.
Ace is the place that rewards you in a million ways. That's hyperbole, but still, it's a lot.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Don't miss these February Red Hot Buys. 6 convenient Sarasota locations are now open in Bradenton, Northport, and Zune Osprey.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Welcome back. We do have some breaking news coming into the ABC 7 newsroom right now. We have a live look from where our crews are responding to a large structure fire, and that's at Coconut in the 1100 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Way. Now there's talk of closing roads in that area. We're also being told it could be located at the Ringling College. There is a new library structure that is in the process of being built there. It is not completely built, but as you can see in that live look, they were spraying water on that structure fire just a few minutes ago. Now we have a crew that is out there. We'll continue to bring you the latest information as it becomes available. Again, a large structure fire is reported in the area of Coconut and MLK Jr. Way. You should avoid this area and keep an eye out for traffic in the vicinity. Well, the official cause of death is in for actor Bill Paxton. His death certificate says he died from a stroke 11 days after heart surgery just last month. The surgery was to fix an aneurysm and replace a heart valve. Paxton is best known for the HBO show Big Love and also the movies Titanic, Twister, and Aliens. He was just 61 years old when he passed. The cast of Will and Grace giving fans a behind-the-scenes glimpse at production of the series revival. Deborah Messing, Eric McCormick, Sean Hayes, and Megan McLawley sharing images on Twitter over the weekend from their set. Will and Grace ran from 1998 to 2006, and their new show is returning for a 10-episode run. And Jimmy Buffett enjoying retirement, and of course he wants to make sure everyone else does as well. The singer is planning a string of retirement communities, and the first one is opening to be in Daytona Beach. It's going to be called Latitude Margaritaville. It's named after his best-known hit song, of course, Margaritaville. And according to the news release, it's for those who are, quote, looking to live the Margaritaville lifestyle as they grow older, but not grow up. It'll have a band shell for live music and food and drinks from Margaritaville's restaurant. That community opens next year. Sounds like a great place to enjoy some sunshine.
Have you ever been to a Jimmy Buffett concert?
I have not. I have not. Cannot say I have.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I hear it's quite an experience.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So, yeah, the weather, I'm sure, is going to be beautiful for any concert he puts on.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, stick around. Your news at 5 and 6 will be on later.